Imagine a war where the battlefield isn't just a planet, but the very fabric of space-time, and every shot fired creates a ripple that could collapse entire fleets. You are Andrew Grayson, now a seasoned veteran in the Colonial Defense Forces, thrust into the sixth chapter of a conflict that has already cost humanity its homeworlds, only to find that points of impact aren't just coordinates on a map, but critical junctures where the fate of the species hangs in the balance. But when you discover that winning this war isn't about holding ground, but about striking with surgical precision at the enemy's weakest links through sheer unpredictability, you realize that victory isn't about brute force, it's about timing, sacrifice, and the sheer audacity to turn a defensive stalemate into an offensive breakthrough through grit, ingenuity, and superior tactics. Welcome to Points of Impact, the sixth pulse-pounding, atmospheric, and deeply strategic installment in Marko Kloos's Frontline series. If you love military sci-fi tropes, squad-level tactics, and stories that explore the sheer, unadulterated thrill of watching a protagonist navigate a hostile cosmos through grit, ingenuity, and superior tactics, this audiobook will completely consume you. It is a masterclass in speculative fiction, blending the visceral crunch of tactical combat with the profound weight of brotherhood. The narrative kicks off with our protagonist's deployment to a critical flashpoint, thrusting him into a race against time to secure a foothold before the enemy's overwhelming force crushes their position. The atmosphere is thick with the scent of recycled air and sweat, the static of encrypted comms, and the creeping dread of knowing that every decision could branch into a timeline where he is just another statistic in a galactic conflict. Kloos excels at capturing the psychological toll of isolation, making every tactical maneuver, every resource allocation, and every narrow escape feel like a high-stakes gamble where the price of failure is not just death, but the loss of one's soul to the void. At the core of the book's massive appeal is its spectacular Grunt's eye view trope and the brilliant asymmetric warfare dynamic. This isn't just about shooting lasers, it's about understanding the complex ecology of military logistics, managing limited resources, and using human ingenuity to outsmart enemies who rely on brute force and superior technology. Watching the protagonist reverse engineer enemy strategies, craft overpowered gear from rare drops, and completely shock arrogant elites with unconventional, trap-heavy tactics is incredibly satisfying. The audiobook narration brings the visceral impact of the combat and the satisfying chiming ding of a massive level up to life, making every milestone feel like a hard-earned victory. But beyond the stats and the slaughter, the soul of Frontlines lies in its characters and the heavy burden of memory. The protagonist isn't just a cold, calculating gamer. They are a deeply human individual struggling to maintain their humanity in a system that views them as data. They quickly form bonds with a beautifully dysfunctional found family of fellow survivors who help them navigate the treacherous waters of the new social order. The banter is razor-sharp, providing much-needed levity as their squad watches them calculate the damage output of a coordinated strike. Their unbreakable trust provides the emotional grounding needed when the world starts throwing literal world-ending threats their way. As the plot accelerates towards its climax, the pacing becomes utterly breathless. A major conspiracy or a rival faction's assault forces the protagonist to push their abilities to their absolute limits. The finale is a spectacular display of tactical brilliance, overwhelming magical firepower, and raw, unbridled ingenuity. The protagonist doesn't just survive the assault, they completely shatter the local power scaling, using a ridiculous, highly technical combination of skills and crafting to turn the enemy's ultimate attack into a mere stepping stone. The payoff is spectacular, delivering a massive dopamine-fueled victory that proves the most dangerous class in the system isn't the one with the biggest sword, it's the one who understands the rules better than anyone else. Points of Impact is a triumph of the LitRPG and fantasy genres. It is smart, action-packed, and unapologetically addictive. Marko Kloos has crafted a sequel that perfectly captures the thrill of breaking the apocalypse with a stat sheet and a strategy guide. Plug in your headphones, check your stats, and join the climber. The system is live, but his future is bright.